some snooping. It was mostly unfortuitous, except we found out that there is a lunch that in a way has a stash of, you know, jewelry. And it's essentially a get the fuck out of town thing. It's either a get the fuck out of town situation or it's a these are precious to me situation. But if it was precious to her, then she would have the Julius drawings in there. So I think it's a get the fuck out of town situation. Then there's the notes that she that the cryptic notes, in the code, and we couldn't identify what the fuck the code was. So yeah, we also found Julius drawings.
There
Well,
was
K
also
drawings,
a marble disc with a raised emblem on it.
and yeah, it's the marble disc with the raised emblem. And then on the other front, there was Snowball doing her snowball thing, and she totally gracefully got there and back with no problems. But she found out that um, she found where Othaniel is, along with Catboy. Um,
Cappy.
I'm calling him Catboy, and Othaniel had jewelry on him that we assume probably is some sort of thing to keep track of him, maybe, or keep him where he is. It's keep them where they are. It's hard to tell. I just said them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, um, and that was essentially it. And then we all got convened together, and I'm pretty sure that was all that happened
Yeah,
mostly.
I think so.
kept the
Oh shit.
room for scheming and stuff for the previous night. The other thing I'm gonna add, um, Jamie and that Asta would have asked for the hat of disguise for today.
Yeah, I
Good.
guess. But yeah, that's it.
Hippo?
All right.
Alright. Okay, I might lose Wi-Fi in like a second.
Hmm.
Oh, oof. Oh, my ears are
Yeah,
very
I.
itchy.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go
The
lock my front
party
door.
as a collective spent the majority of last night scheming and planning until eventually one after the other went to sleep. Um, the morning comes peacefully. I am still trying to slip into DM mode. I That was a very quick recap. Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, not much happened, really. So
You have 6 days until the Harvest Festival begins in earnest, and as far as you know, 6 days, well, a little under 6 days until Thomas Walsh returns. What is the plan? What are we doing?
Okay, you've already got X's course of action for the
Yes.
day.
Uh, the first thing I'm going to do
Um,
is for Ixalia is to see if Ixalia can remember and describe the sign on the mortal disc. So that is going to be an intelligence check.
nope.
No. Uh, she kind of apologizes and says, "I was just able to sort of like run my finger across it and realize that there was something there, but I don't know what it was."
that's that's what it is. Right. Okay.
Ixalia, with her plans and I guess instructions intact, is also going to head out to do
As
her.
out for very similar reasons, he wants to kind of flit a little bit so he can establish a general idea of um features and vocal patterns that would fit within the labor, that would fit within, I think, the weavers particularly is what you.
Yes.
He's doing very similar to Dahlia in setting out to gather that information to create a.
Right. Would you roll me an investigation check? And I will roll one for Exalted.
I am still waiting for Roll20 to finish loading. So do you mind if I physical dice just for this roll?
Sure.
What was that?
Said sure.
Thank you. 18 plus whatever.
Okay. Uh, Julius, Irene, and Nagi, what are your morning activities?
I have no fucking idea. Naki is too noticeable to do anything related to what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know about Julius. I don't remember if we had any plans of attack before for Julius. Um, because he's too noticeable as well. Oh, I have an idea. I had talked about before him possibly wanting to like get more information about like the planting and stuff like that. Could he try and find? Because he wants to try and grow that stupid. I know this sounds a roundabout thing. He wants to try and grow that little pear um seed that he basically took from the fuck
Right. Yeah. The
temple.
the
There we
temple.
go. From the temple. He
He can.
kind of wants to try and find somebody who's like an expert on it though that can like not doesn't have to be an expert, but like somebody who would probably be noticeably better and like know how to deal with fruit trees. Um,
Right.
and maybe
So,
collect information from them about like the changes that have happened and things like that. Like as he's trying to get that information, if that makes any sense.
right. Yeah. Make me an intelligence check.
Okay. Intelligence. I gotta open his sheet. Buddy, 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 please do well. I beg you. Hey, that's a 21.
Alrighty. Um, so I will get to that in a second. I
Okay.
am just trying to figure out what everyone's like morning activity is. Does Irene have a morning activity?
That is a great question. I don't think she does. Sorry.
That's it. No, it not. Don't apologize to me. I am just trying to keep track of time as time moves forward in this week.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
think Irene's gonna do anything.
Yeah, without the hat of disguise, there's nothing Nagi can really do for this.
Irene and Nagi can hang out.
Crucially, they can hang out. Nagi, wanna see some magic tricks?
I guess.
All right, that's what
Since
they
that's the
do.
only thing she can do.
That's what they do, and it's important. They have a good time.
Mm-hmm. All
I mean,
right.
it's not all they can do. It's just for the particular rumor mongering. Um, no one's
No.
gonna try and kill Nagi without the hat. It's just that
It's not. It's just that she's noticed. They're gonna remember her. She's a water genasi tiefling. There's no way she's not gonna be noticed. There's no way she's not gonna be
if
remembered.
rumor mongering or information gathering, that's not a problem.
Except, like, she's obviously not.
I understand what you mean. I
Fair
figured I
enough.
would. It is Jamie's choice. I figured I'd open up the opportunity. So Ixalia fucks off for a while, and you don't see her again until mm, early afternoon, I would say. So what was your role again?
18 plus whatever Ash's investigation modifier is. Give me a sec, I can tell you. Dirty 20.
All right. Aster, you head into the Western Hills and to the weaving weaving complex that you were directed to by Fortune. Um, the so the way this is set up is it is a couple of buildings that are set up around a small like internal like square sense. Like it's like a little grassy area. Sides there are three buildings each. Um, they are labeled Building A, Building B, and Building C. And then they are all sort of hemmed in together with a small ironwork fence. Um,
Did Parker just get yoked? Or no,
nope,
PK got
TK.
yoked.
Um, sorry, now I'm trying to reorganize myself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the people inside, as you head towards them, are they. It seems like a lot of women who walk between these buildings, and sort of like there are a couple of them like grouped together, walking as they sort of talking as they walk to work. Um, a couple of them are still seemingly like throwing down morning breakfast as they
Yeah.
get up close. Um, they all sort of seem like the clothing that they're wearing and the way that they're comporting themselves, they seem working class, but not like too poorly off. They must have at least a somewhat decent salary. Um, and while I say mostly women, there are some men and some other like sort of androgynous looking people mixed in. There's a lot of humans, a lot of elves, a surprising number of Loxodon as well. Um,
Yes.
Halfling here and there. Um, but if you look, you can find people of probably just about every race except for you know, maybe the Ganassi people.
No, it makes sense.
Mhm. So that's kind of the vibe that the average person is here. The front gate, however, is indeed manned by what looks like two employees that check everyone coming in for proper like employment identification. Everyone seems to have like these little cards that they kind of flash. Um, so you're not quite able to like get inside, at least not as you
Yeah.
are right now. Um,
Yeah.
but you managed to kind of sit and people watch. There's a small cafe across the street from the entrance. You that you had seen a lot of those early morning workers like stop for like a cup of tea or something before they walked into work. And as
Yeah.
the afternoon comes in and people seem to be getting lunch breaks, they also seem to kind of wander out, and a couple of them walk in and join you at the cafe and walk back out as they as lunch breaks cycle. Um,
Okay. Also, point of note: the disguise at the moment is probably mm, about 24. Darker hair and skin.
would you make me
Probably
a would you make me a general charisma?
since I'm pretending to be someone else, can I have advantage?
It is not that you're pretending to be someone else. It is that you are sitting and people watching one location for multiple hours.
This is a don't be suspicious kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is a don't be suspicious check.
Uh,
Ixalia will probably also roll one as well. Ixalia does well.
what? Jesus fuck. I don't think I have inspiration left. I do, but I
Uh,
don't want to use it.
Yeah, it's always tough whether or not to use inspiration.
mhm. So
No, I want to hold on because
you're able to like get breakfast and kind of people watch without question, but then as it kind of starts to stretch on into like 10, 11 o'clock and you're still kind of sitting there, the
I
staff
think one of
is kind of giving you some looks.
um, add this in. I'd accept if it's a no. Asta would have brought like a writing pad and pen with him.
Hmm.
Um, and occasionally be scribbling things down, like he's that motherfucker in a Starbucks who's.
Yeah. Um,
But now it just looks like you're taking notes about
yeah,
people.
now it just looks like you're taking notes about people. Um,
Oh God.
Would have. Okay, let me rephrase. Very specifically trying to do it in that sort of off in his own head writer.
But you got a 6 as a thing.
you did get a six is the
Yeah,
thing.
I
So
There's
know.
like no way you can spin it, essentially.
Oof.
um
But he knows he can scrap that disguise.
mhm. It seems like no one's like wanting to like call you out on it, and that seems kind of like the general kind of culture in Southern Chilans anyway, of like kind of vaguely non-confront, not like that sort of thing, particularly in public. But you are kind of getting looks and kind of getting like a feeling like if you showed up here tomorrow with this same face, people would be like about it.
Yeah, this face is getting.
Hmm. Um, but by early afternoon, um, it seems like you kind of have you feel fairly confident. You kind of have the feeling of like kind of the like sort of like upper working class, um, average person kind of vibe, the vibe of the place, which seems to at least tolerate some level of talking between employees. Although, of course, you don't know what it's like inside those buildings, and you know how you have to get in.
Yeah. Which means his next step needs to be trying to get one of those cards. But for now, he's gonna dip and
Hmm.
um.
Julius. Sorry, did you have something that's finished with Joe?
No, that's all.
Okay. Julius.
Hello, that's me.
So, as you're kind of thinking about this pear and how you want to learn how to grow this fucking pear tree, you did try the library, but that didn't really go over well.
Mm-hmm.
You know that there are, botanists who run perhaps like their own like greenhouses or their own like, you
Like
know,
nurseries.
like nurseries or like, yeah, kind of like nurseries. Like if you go to like a home store and they have like the little section of like plant stuff off to the side.
I just want to say something real quick, Parker. Your mic keeps like fading in and out for me. I don't know if that's the
Ah,
same on
Uh,
everyone else's end or not.
yeah.
I don't
Okay.
a little, yeah.
all right, hold on one second.
I just wanted to say that because I was having a hard time kind of.
I
Mhm.
I thought it was just me, so
Yeah. I was like, I'm just gonna say it
Better
now in
at all?
case. I think so.
Any
Yeah.
better?
Yeah, much
All
better.
right,
Yeah.
cool. Um anyway, it's like a little nursery of like you go there probably buy like, gardening supplies, seeds, uh probably saplings. That kind of like the kind of
Mm-hmm.
vibe, but like
Mm-hmm.
um There is also what comes to your mind. You could try talking to the people who tend the grounds at the temple.
Mm-hmm.
Considering this fruit is from those trees, those people probably know how to take care of those fruit trees.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you want to risk walking in there is up to you, but it is a thought that crosses your mind.
I like the idea. Let's do the dangerous thing. But we're gonna disguise ourselves, obviously. We're not gonna be that stupid.
Walk in there full K.
Nope, I'm just here now. To be fair, he probably looks a lot different than he used to.
Um,
Yeah, has been about 20 years.
Yeah.
He does now have two scars on his chest.
And he is titties out, importantly.
So,
No.
what's your disguise?
Um, he's not gonna look like the human he used to. He might go for the kind of more feminine version of it, I think. Well, no. What am I?
Just look like Owen Wilson.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow, so many cool fruit trees. No. Uh oh boy. You know, he'll go half elven disguise, maybe dark brown hair, little shorter. Just kind of an not a mildly handsome man, but not in the like at first like double take glance, I guess.
Hmm.
Pretty similar in his own body type, at least. Maybe middle aged, um, not high wealth or anything like that. Just kind of normal kimono and everything.
Right. So, with that disguise, you make your way over and then stroll into temple grounds.
Mhm.
Um, it's a little busier here than it was the last time you were here a couple of days ago.
Mhm.
Um, it seems like prep for the festival is really starting to kind of ramp up.
Mhm.
Um, you see particularly people sort of working very quickly to make sure the gardens themselves are, well tended and neat and orderly, and nothing's like growing over into the path. People are doing like a clean of sort of like the walls, the outer walls, the pathways. Um, there's a couple of boxes kind of propped up against the admin building that look like they probably have like the festival decorations inside,
Mm.
ready to be hung up that day. Um, there's still a lot of work to be done, but they're really starting to kind of put things together
Mhm.
today. Um, and as such, you can find people in this sort of working kimono like uniform, um, working on the garden grounds, sort of out and about, not just in the front section with the fruit trees, but also around the sides of each building. And you're sure that there are probably people out back of like the sanctuary as well, tending to stuff back there. Um,
Gotcha. Hmm.
there are a couple of individuals seemingly trimming and pruning the fruit trees. Um, as well as a couple of folks working on shaping and pruning some of the ferns and hedge bushes that are in various places across the grounds.
Mhm. Trying to think of how we would approach this. He'd probably go up to one of them, just and what would he say? Sorry, my brain isn't working as well as it should. He'd probably just kind of stroll up a little bit and just say, Trees are looking in mighty fine condition.
You're sort of strolling up and you find you kind of run into a sort of she looks human, but she also looks a bit too tall to be
Mm,
fully human. Like she might have some giant kin blood in her somewhere.
mm-hmm,
Um, as she is working on some of the upper branches of one of the pear trees, actually, not the one you pulled the pear from, but one of the
mm-hmm.
trees. Um, and she kind of glances down at you and she goes, "Oh, thank you. It's a work in progress."
Well, it seems to be progressing quite well.
Hmm.
Kind of an interest in it myself, honestly. I never reared fruit trees before, and I've always been curious about how this temple did so.
Well, honestly, once you plant a tree and you get it going, it's usually fine on its own, you know?
Is it
Um,
now? Is there any specific way that you're supposed to plant the seeds or anything? I mean, I've
I
read a
kind of
few
like
things
tilts
from
her.
books, but they don't tell as well as the experts do, you know.
I'm no expert, but thank you. Well, I mean, you can grow one from seeds, but your better bet is, planting a sprig halfway already done. Take something from a living tree and plant that.
Interesting. Here, I thought the fruits of
If you,
them.
I mean, yeah, of course, but it's not as effective. It takes longer. You
Hmm,
plant them as seeds, you might not see anything tree-like for a couple of years.
gotcha. Very interesting.
Other than that, it's mostly just like any other plant. You put it in the ground, you give it water, you make sure the sunlight's right, and you wait.
He's just like nodding to himself. So they're not fickle trees?
If they were fickle trees, they wouldn't be everywhere.
Yeah, he'll give a little chuckle at that. All right, well, that's enough to sate my curiosity. Thank you.
Have a nice day.
You as well.
And she kind of goes back to, pruning and shaping at the top of the tree.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
He might wander around and kind of chat to the other people that are working just to see like what is going on necessarily with like the preparations they're doing possibly or to get any other information he possibly can before he tries to go steal a sprig off of one of the trees.
Uh,
Ah,
make me a general charisma check.
okay. Charisma, let's go. That's a 22.
Right. People are kind of busy,
Mm-hmm.
Um, but people are willing to, chat with you between jobs or working on it. Again, it seems like this is mostly like the cleaning section. Also, hello, Sarah. Um, they're kind of cleaning everything off, getting everything prepped, and then today, after that, if they have time in the afternoon, they're going to be working on um, sort of hanging and placing the less delicate tapestry and banners
Mm-hmm.
around the place, um, and then setting up the sort of not frames, but how the actual mechanisms for hanging other things as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then the next big job after that is to prep the grounds for the influx of food and uh, other sort of produce and products that they are then going to then turn into the opening feast. Um, so
Mhm.
there generally seems to be a vibe of generally everything has to be kind of in place by the time Walsh gets back.
Mhm.
Um,
All right. Is that about as much as he kind of sees or figures
yeah,
out?
pretty
Okay.
much.
Then he's gonna try. uh, he's probably gonna try and.
You're gonna try to get a twig cutting?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Um,
You're like, why do you keep defacing these trees, monster?
so you are kind of in luck in the fact that because people are trimming trees and making it look nice, there are cuttings laying around.
Yes.
Um,
Excellent.
this is probably literally the only day of the year where this is possibly the case.
Julius is a lucky boy. Mans is gonna grab a couple.
No one really questions you.
He just starts sticking them in his coat pocket. I got sticks.
I mean, it's a little less for them to clean up later. So,
Sure.
um,
Can he grab like 4 of them?
yeah, sure.
Okay. Excellent. I'm putting that in his inventory. 4 pear sticks.
Uh,
Thank you for humoring me, Parker.
also, hello, Sarah.
Hi,
No,
Sarah. You're
Um,
pink now.
I don't know what's happening, but I hope Julius gets a nice stick.
Aster is being a little
Yes.
spy, Ix is being a little spy, and Julius is stealing.
Okay,
Julius is stealing pieces
good
of
for him.
tree.
This is getting information on how to grow plants and has found out that you're better off doing it with a cutting, so has tried to yoink some cuttings for of the pear trees.
He's still gonna try with the pear, but we'll
I
see.
believe in him.
Yeah, he's
Has
got
he
the
ever grown
cuttings.
anything in his life ever?
Probably, but mostly under the guidance of like Katsume or
And
fuck
like things that are like
Watanabe.
low maintenance.
Watanabe tried to help him grow a fucking bean, like in those water suspension things or whatever the hell it is that you can do in like middle school. You put
Well,
it
I
in a
believe in
glove and it
him.
grows in a windowsill.
Oh my
I don't know if
god.
it's gonna work, but I believe in him.
Hey, it worked. Hey, I've actually done it before. It works.
I'm talking about the pears, not the beans.
Oh, the bee. Okay.
um, does Nin have an activity to do on this first morning of bullshit? Is she going to be doing any spying or anything? Or is she just going to be vibing at home with everyone else who is vibing at home?
Does spying need to happen in a location that it's not already happening at?
That's up to you guys.
That was a question for the group.
There's a student.
Okay.
Yeah, those
This is going to
which
be Nin, who has never attended a school in her life.
Oh yeah, that's why I was like, oof, I don't know if Ninja should be the one doing this.
yeah, that's Asta's already out and about. Which means it probably came about from mention around the scheming table of which probably send someone to the university to talk to the students and to
Like she could probably pass for a student as long as she doesn't open her mouth.
I think I also need to dip because sound is kind of hurting.
Mm.
Okay.
Oh, hey, Joel.
Take care, Joel.
Sorry.
Yeah, take care.
It's
It's
okay.
not a problem.
Don't feel bad.
Feel better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Bye.
I
Bye.
Goodbye.
Um,
Hmm.
Hmm.
okay. So is Nin going to go to the Arcanium or no?
if someone tells her to go, she will. If someone is smarter than that, then she's just gonna stay and chill with the group. So it really depends.
Also, I think I
Oh,
changed my mind what Nagi's doing. I think she's going to go explore the city and just window shop and just see because she wants. It's a huge city. She's like, this is like she wants to see what's up with it.
all righty.
And
Yeah,
if
Make
if that's
she
the
has,
case, I think then we'll go with Nagi.
okay. The two of you can make me perception checks, or one of you at advantage, or just
I will
whatever.
give Nagi advantage.
okay, 21.
Because shopping together went so well last time when we bullied some poor shopkeep for a discount.
Um, okay, so you guys have explored Twilight districts, particularly the Twilight District market sections, before. So you kind of know what's going on there. Glass Park in itself, you've also kind of been around a bit. Um, you can kind of so the other major market section of town is within well, okay, there are two other so besides the Twilight District market, there is the Western Hills market and the Harbor Quarter market.
Rogue.
Um,
Sorry.
the Harbor Quarter, mostly the market there is mostly for both for like sailors and ships, like like preparing to leave or having
Mhm.
arrived with goods and able to sell them off, as well at. But it also does have some application for locals in that like there's a really good fish market there. If you want some good fresh fish, you can go there. If you want like exotic trinkets, you can go there. The Western Hills Market is where the Twilight District Market is very upper scale, upper class. Um, just about anything you could want there at an elite level. The Western Hills Market is much more anything you could want at like a normal working person's budget. You can find a lot of the same shops as you can find in the Twilight District as you can find in the Western Hills, but a lot less upscale, a lot cheaper, a lot more sort of commonplace items. There's no magic item shop in the Western Hills. Uh, the apothecaries aren't selling, healing potions. They're just selling like normal ass person medicine.
Yeah, like like Bengay and like Tylenol and
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Ibuprofen.
Fantasy Tylenol.
Fantasy Tylenol.
Um,
except they're probably herbs instead of pills or something.
mhm.
Do they have maybe ingredients for healing potions?
Make me a nature or arcana, depending on which is better for you.
Uh, that would be Arcana.
Nice.
Um, if you look around, yes, if you could probably find everything you would need to make a healing potion. Um, you would just then need to have the alchemist supplies and the
Herbalism kit.
alchemist knowledge
I
Uh,
think I
It's
have
the herbalism kit that does
or
it.
herbalism. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I have an herbalism kit, unless I'm just imagining that.
Although there's a lot of weird crossover between the two. So,
Like
Yeah.
I would accept either herbalism or alchemy, honestly.
oh, okay. Then
Um.
Um,
Nagi might try that because she has alchemy. She
Oh
has
no, I don't
alchemy.
have it. Okay. I have a disguise kit and a forgery kit. But I
yeah,
don't have an alchemy.
let's forge our way into a healing
Na-
potion.
I
Nagi
can
will
make
buy
a
the
really convincing label for a healing potion.
Nagi will buy the healing potion ingredients.
Okay. That hold on.
She'll buy like 2 or 3 potions worth. It'll take 2 or 3 days to brew each all of them. So
I will also make you roll a check to
okay, well
determine like if you actually managed to make something, or
okay.
or the if you do the quality of what you make.
Yeah, I can do that. Do you want me to do that now or when I actually start making them?
When you actually start making them.
Okay. And how much would it be for 3 potions worth?
For 3 potions worth, so you the thing is, you need a lot of pre-prepared dried ingredients for it, since you are not
Yeah.
going out to collect them yourself. Um, like on their own, each little individual like dried leaf packet is like, a couple of copper to a couple of silver, depending on the actual plant in question.
Yeah.
Um, the fact that you are buying so much and the fact that you are buying a lot of different types, um, as needed, it's probably gonna run you. Let's put it like 20 gold.
Okay, I can do that.
And then we'll toss 10 gold your way for that.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay, cool. And I'll put X3 potion ingredients.
mhm. Wait, no, no, I already said 20. Fuck it.
Okay.
There is a sale today.
There's a sale today.
I'm happy to roll a persuasion check to get that 20 if we want to make
Next,
it legit.
roll a persuasion check.
I'll
Okay.
help first advantage.
No
Nice.
advantage. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, you
They're
get
both
them by
just standing
being
there wiggling their eyebrows.
you
Yeah.
get the discount today for being two very cute young women, being very precocious. Um,
Perfect.
Next time I will be using the Xanathar's money.
Yeah, it'll
Because
because
I
Very fair.
it would be half the price of a potion, right? To make it normally.
yes, it
Yeah.
is
So
half the price,
yeah.
but again, I will still be making you roll a check to see how good of a potion you do.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
Excellent.
Still
Well,
better
so
than the full price.
would you put alchemy supply as a alchemist as a dex or an intelligence thing?
uh, it depends on the exact like what you are doing with the alchemist's kit and what specifically you are making. For a potion of healing, I would rule intelligence.
Okay, I will try my best when that happens. Luckily, I
Um,
have proficiency in alchemy supplies.
That's good.
working working with poisons or other explosive materials, I rule dex.
Yeah,
Um,
that's fine. Um,
it's just one of those wiggly things that I like. I'm like, it really depends on the circumstance you're doing.
yeah.
Um, so
Okay.
that is everyone's sort of morning activity for this
Quick thing.
day.
Even if it's not related to exactly what we're doing, do we hear anything fun or interesting, like weird little side quests, weird little tips, weird little, just anything interesting? Or,
I'll let that 21 ride. if you're in the Western Hills, there's a lot of excitement about the festival coming up.
mhm.
Um, just like in the temple, and anyone who's out and about today sees basically kind of the entire city starting to kind of get ready. Um, the Western Hills, in particular, seem to mostly be focused on not necessarily cleaning up, but sort of like individual shop fronts are starting to like set up like unique displays for the festival. Um, the actual market areas, like the one you are in, are starting to sort of like there's the standing shop fronts that are always there, right? And but then there are other places that are starting to set up like tents over open quad areas that
Uh-huh.
might be where like traveling merchants have come to like
Hmm.
rent out space to sell things at the festival. Um, like this is a city very much prepping for a very large and very long event. This is the final stretch of getting everything physically together. Um, and as such, there are people who are, thinking about and talking about the festival, particularly these people that are setting up tents and setting up tables and stands and stalls. There are gossip. There is gossip that you get. Um, some of it is like gossip about certain artists that have entered competitions. Um, it seems like there's some controversy over the oil painting uh, uh, sort of competition, as it seems like someone who was disqualified last year has petitioned to be allowed to rejoin, and they haven't made a final decision yet.
Hmm.
So that's a little like spicy. Uh, there's some talk a bit about Walsh in particular, that he's been gone from the city for a while, and people are like, he is supposed to be back. Like, he should be back. Some people are like, I sure hope he's back, and some people will be like,
Sure hope
mm,
he's back.
Mm.
you
This is
know.
awfully suspicious.
Um, there are there are some talks about the it's like a slight uptick in bandit activity, particularly along the roads to Horitari,
Mhm.
as particularly opportunistic individuals are planning to and are able to take advantage of perhaps less well protected traveling merchants and tourists to town. Although this seems to be kind of like a yearly thing.
Yeah, the
Um,
people probably, put a special fund aside just for protection around this time of year because damn.
yeah. There's one family. There's one merchant who is bitching a little bit about it that he ended up having to spend a little bit more than he'd wanted to on protection, and now he's out a bit of funds. And someone's like, "Ah, shut up! You made it through, didn't you? Fuck off!
Like he didn't get robbed, so
You didn't get robbed. Fuck you." It seems like usually the city is willing to offer some temporary employment for adventuring types who want to either go out and try to root out these groups or otherwise set up protections like patrols along the roads. And that is the case again this year. Um, which might have been something that you all would have been interested in if you weren't engaging in a
busy.
poke fight.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. If you were not doing poke fights.
Pub fight.
Um,
Woo woo.
So I
but but it is something to keep in mind. Perhaps maybe for next year if you're looking for
Hmm.
work.
Yeah. When we're like level like 15 and
You're level 15.
By that
We
time,
just
I
fucking
feel like.
wipe out a. Yeah.
Or we can just
Uh,
wipe out a pope.
just wipe out a boat. Uh,
Oh my
I
god.
mean, in character, y'all don't know that yet.
Obviously not.
Right. It's
Um,
aspirational.
Yeah.
it's aspirational. Um,
I can feel my bones grow stronger, almost like I gained 40 hit points overnight.
um, it seems like there's also a bit of controversy with the smokeway, um, particularly because it seems like there's been an issue with gunpowder supply, which has caused some of the uh, munitions and particularly firework like uh, factories to be behind schedule and be low on supply and product, which is making people a little bit anxious because festival need fireworks. Come on, buddy.
and no one knows
uh,
why, right?
no one's really sure why. No. Um,
Okay. Hope that doesn't come back to bite us.
Hmm.
uh, and there's talk that some of those festivals might, though some of those factories might need to keep working after the festival starts to be able to produce what's needed, which is a bit of a like a idea to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Um, it seems like most of the city kind of gets off work for the festival in one way or another,
Unless you're a
and
merchant wanting to make money.
unless you're a merchant wanting to make money, but like like the
That's a choice.
that's a choice. Usually the smokeway factories shut down. Usually the Western Hills workhouses shut down.
All the
Um,
ships coming from harbor, like,
Yo, that reminds
yeah,
me
like
of
it
what
is
my
just
work did to me. Mandatory overtime for a year.
eesh.
uh, usually that happens. It apparently things are getting a little tense up in the smokeway.
Oof.
Um,
Oh, so people are
that
still working right now. Okay.
people are still working. I mean, it is still like a little bit less than a week out. So like most people are
Mhm.
still working right now, but it's kind of like
The people in the smokeway just aren't sure when they'll be able to get off because of the shortage, right?
yes, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Hmm. Interesting. Interesting.
and everyone is waiting to see sort of what the like kind of how that's going to turn out, how these smaller little like controversies are going to turn out, what the large opening feast is going to be like. People are fucking hyped about that shit. um
Feast.
that's the vibe you get.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I can think of for now for the morning.
All right, as the group sort of reconvenes in the early to mid afternoon, 2 or 3 probably, because of the low level of people here,
E.
um, I think I'm gonna call a really short session.
That's
Yeah,
alright.
that's
Um,
fine.
That's fair.
Yeah, people weren't feeling well today,
Mm-hmm.
apparently. And
Yeah.